it is time for science. We're going to read this book first and then do some science experiments. I hope you're up for it. It sounds like a lot of fun to me. Okay, the first book we're reading is called All About Water, and it's by Mari Schuh and Gail Sunders Smith, who was a consulting editor. And as you can see, it has a table of contents, so now you know this is a non-fiction book. And it is going to tell us about matter. It says, what is matter? Your bed, books, and house are matter. Everything in the whole world is matter. Forms of matter. Matter is anything that takes up space. Matter can be a solid, a liquid, or a gas. And so the air is the gas, and the liquid is water, and the ice cubes are solid. Solids keep their shape. Rocks, trees, and ice cubes are solids. Liquids often feel wet and do not have their own shape. A liquid takes the shape of what holds it. Milk, water, and shampoo are liquids. Gases have no shape. Gases spread to fill the space they are in. Air is made of gases. You can feel air move on windy days. Changing matter. Matter can change forms. Solids can turn into liquids. Ice cream melts on a hot day. Looks yummy, but melty. Liquids can turn into solids. Liquid water turns into ice cubes in a freezer. So water has all three forms, right? Because water can be liquid, and it can evaporate as steam, and then it can also be frozen into water, and so that, or into ice cubes. So that's the solid. Regular water is a liquid, and when it becomes steam, then it's a gas. Liquids can turn into gases. Boiling water changes from a liquid to a gas, just like I said with the steam. You can see, touch, taste, and smell matter. Matter is all around you. And that is the end. There's a glossary back here that tells you what some words are. There's smart internet sites you could go to. I will put that close to the screen so that in case you want to copy those down, you may. And there are some more books to read on the top too. And I'm going to pause the video for a second and get set up for the science experiments. I have them all right here. Actually, I don't know if I need to set anything up because I have it all here. Okay, so I put on my husband's old white shirt so I would look almost like a scientist. So we are starting with the first one. I got these experiments out of a book called 365 Science Experiments, and it's by Usborne. And you have the copy that looks like this. And we are doing the section called Solids, Liquids, and Goo. So you get to make goo today. Okay, so we are doing number 124 first, where it says testing solids. So I gathered some things too, like they said, and you want to feel them. So I have a ball, and it's pretty firm, not too squishy. I have a towel, and it can go into a lot of shapes, right? Very big. And then I have a newspaper. Now, we are going to put these things into things that are different sizes. So if I put the ball in here, it kind of rolls around in there yet, right? But it's still the same shape, right? So if I put the towel in there, ooh, it all fits in there. Now, when it comes out, is it going to look the same? Nope. I'll move that down a little bit so you can see. There, it came into a different shape when it came out. And what about the newspaper? I don't think I need all this newspaper to go in there. How about just one sheet? Take the one from the middle. Okay, now see if I can squish this into there. Ooh, that squishes down pretty far in there, further down than the towel. So maybe a little less matter, and then what happens when it comes out? It isn't as big as it used to be, but it's a little bit different. Okay, so now, then we want to try squashing each object. So what happens with this one? It doesn't seem to be doing much. It will bounce though, because this is a bouncy ball. Okay, then the next thing, what about this? This squashes. And so does a towel. Now, we're going to see if you can tear them. Can you tear a ball? No. But, can you tear a newspaper? Can you do it? Yep, you can tear a newspaper easily. And what about this? If this was older, I could probably rip it, but I cannot rip this now because this is in good shape. Can you twist it? Ooh, this twists very well. And that is a newspaper twist too. Yep, newspaper and twist. And the ball twist? No. So, that was the first experiment. We were just testing what we had. Now, we're going to figure out about liquid and what shape it is. So I have some liquid over here. And I am going to pour it in this measuring cup so that we have 2 cups in there. Okay, now I am going to pour it in this glass first. Do you think that's going to fit in there? I don't think so. I think we need this bigger glass. Okay, so let's pour it in here, see if it all fits. Oh, does it all fit? No. It actually holds about 12 ounces and this was 16. So, we have it in there. Now, what do you think it'll look like in my bowl? I'm going to pour this in here. It's a good thing I have that towel. I'm going to wipe up that water. And then pour the rest of it in there. Do you think it looks like more water in here? Now, since it didn't all fit in this one, do you think it's all going to fit in this one? I don't know about that either. Let's see. Ooh, no, it does not, and it spills. So, I think it looked like the most water in the bowl. But it was still the same amount of water. And I am going to pour this back in the bowl first. There we go. And then it needs to go into the glass again. So I think I'll pour it back in here first. We're going to add something to it to see if it changes it at all. So we'll put most of the water in here. And I'm going some sugar in here. What do you think will happen when I put the sugar into the water? Ooh. Do you see? It's kind of cloudy at first. Let's see if it will dissolve. Ah, looks like they are mostly gone. We call that dissolving, when the particles you put in get absorbed by the liquid. See, now it looks the same. And you can even taste it because sugar is something you can eat and water is something you can drink. Ooh, that's a little sweet. So, that is kind of like what they do with soda. They make it sweet. They add some sugar. Now, the next one talks about adding sand to your water. And we would have to try that in a different glass. But I couldn't find any sand, so I guess we won't do that one. But I will tell you a little bit about what they say. it doesn't mix in like sugar does, and it will stay suspended in there, and so they call that suspension. And if you just leave it alone for a while, then the sand will sink down to the bottom because it is heavier than the water. So if you have sand though, you could try that in a glass. So we did that. Now the next side is where we get to make goo. So now I need 2 cups of, I'm going to dry my bowl out because I'm going to use it again. We need 2 cups of cornstarch, and I have some in here and some in here, and I have a measuring cup here. So cornstarch is kind of poofy, and it feels dry but soft. It's kind of a weird feeling. So I need 2 cups of cornstarch. Let's see if I can get 2 cups. We had to buy some more just so that I would have enough, but even if you don't have enough right now, you could maybe make half a batch, or you could put it on the list to get some for the next time you go shopping, and then you can make some goo too, because goo is kind of fun. Okay, now I think it needs just a little bit more. Maybe not. Okay, so I have 1 cup here. Now I need 1 more cup. Ooh, did you see how it poofed when I put it in the bowl? That is cornstarch for you. Okay, there is some more in here, but I don't think there's enough. So I will have to open the other one. This is a little bit messy. I am ending up with some cornstarch on my table, but that's okay because it'll wipe off. Okay, so this one is all gone. And I think I can recycle this container, so that'll be nice. We'll recycle that. And then I have more cornstarch here. Ooh. There's a lot of cornstarch in here. Like I said, very poofy. You'll have fun with this because it is fun when things go poof. Now, there. Okay, now I have a second cup, and I put it in the bowl, and it poofed again. I'll have to see if I can get some of that off of the table, because we want to have the right amount. That will work. Okay, now the next ingredient is some water, and we need 1 cup of water. So I don't have a cup there anymore, so I am going to fill it up. Now you can look on my cup, and it says it is 1 cup or 8 ounces. So if you set it down, then it's even, and it's right there. So what you need to do first, though, is put in some food coloring. I need 4 drops. So should I use green or blue, or kind of a combination? Maybe I should use green with a little bit of blue. 1, maybe 1 is in there. Maybe I will need blue. Oh, well, dropped it in there, and so now I have green. I'll see if I can add 1 blue, and we'll see what happens. Well, 2 came out, so I guess we get what we get. And watch how it swirls in there. And so when you do that, then I'm going to stir it up a little bit. It's kind of a dark green. Didn't get too much blue. Okay, so now I get to pour it in there, and then I want to use my hands to mix it together. Ooh, it makes a nice color with the cornstarch, which is white. I think I'm going to take my ring off first because I think this will be kind of messy. Okay, so now I'm going to mix it with my fingers. It is making an interesting stuff here. Check this out. I need to keep mixing because it's kind of liquidy in some spots and kind of like goo in other spots. So you need to keep mixing until it's all about the same consistency. Oh, it turned kind of a minty green because we had the white cornstarch. And if you remember when we were studying colors back in during the school year, we talked about how if you add white, you get a tint. See how gooey this is? Now, I think we are going to try the next part. It says to try to hold some up with your hand. And what happens? And I think it kind of dribbles through. Yep. Now they want me to try and see if I can make a ball. So let's see if I can do that. Some of it near the edge seems thicker, so I might see if I can get some near the edge to make a ball. Ah, look at that. It did make a ball, but I have to go fast. But it only makes a little ball. So let me try again. So it's kind of making a ball, but it doesn't stay together very well. See, and then it falls off my hand. I will try to show you better. I will do it a little bit closer. Okay, check it out. Do you see? In between my hands, it kind of makes a ball. You see that in between my hands? But it's not really ball-like because as soon as you let go, then it kind of falls apart. So then it says try punching it with my hand. So that feels weird. It does. It feels really weird. Now it says I'm supposed to try to stir it with a wooden spoon, but my hands are really full of this stuff. I'll grab my wooden spoon after my hand quits dripping, and we'll see what happens. It doesn't look like theirs is quite as gooey, but this is science, and it happens. So when the stuff along the edge is really more firm than the stuff in the middle, okay? And so it says try to stir it quickly with a wooden spoon. If I go all the way down to the bottom, it doesn't stir very well with the wooden spoon. Do you see that? It's hard for me to stir if I go all the way to the edge. So it's kind of firm, and yet soft at the same time. It's kind of weird. So that's what they're trying to tell you, that this can act like a solid and like a liquid all at the same time. So that's kind of a strange thing, isn't it? Now, because when the goo is rolled quickly or punched, it feels more solid. But when you try to just lift it through your fingers, then it gets feels more like a liquid. So now we are going to see if we can make slime out of this. So what we need to do is use this and add another cup of water. So here we go. Are you ready? One more cup of water. What do you think is going to happen? Obviously, it'll get thinner, but then this is going to be called slime. So now it is more liquidy and doesn't feel at all solid. So I cannot, with this, do, I can't make it into a ball at all. It is really smooth. And I could probably even get the rest of this off my hand. So, can I stir it? Yes. You can stir it. It stirs much easier. But you cannot turn it into a ball at all. Now, the next thing we need to do, though, is, here is still some of the goo, and it made it into a ball. It was a little small piece. What we want to do is pour some of this slime onto a plate and add some things to it and see what happens when you let it dry overnight. Okay? So, whoa, I'm kind of making a mess here. I'm pretty good at this mess thing. Okay, so I have my slime on the plate, and I forgot to find something to put in it. But I think what I could do is I'm going to put the bowl there and the spoon here, I think, and the lid to the cornstarch there. And the next time we do experiments on Wednesday, then I will show you what happened to this. Okay? So have a great time with this, and you can make the goo and then the slime. I think the goo was more fun than the slime, because the slime is so liquidy. Okay, have a good time. I need to dry my hands a little bit before I touch the off button. Otherwise, we'll have a mess.